We're going to do it. We're going to have a free fly. Join in. Bring any type of aircraft that you would like. We prefer helicopters here at SAR Heli 241, but whatever makes you happy. We are currently at ICAO code EFLA in Finland. We're going to take a little cruise around some backcountry and do some exploring. I've seen quite a few animals lately, and I can't wait to see if we can run into some more. We are taking off right around sunrise, so as this flight progresses, more and more of this landscape is going to reveal itself, I believe, in a most epic way. A little bit of news on the career mode side of the channel. I have once again been presented with the same two search and rescue missions, one being in Canada and the other in Australia. The exact same locations, just different survivors in each one. Those two missions are the only search and rescue missions that seem to be available. They are available on a daily basis, and that is the limit that I get every day, is just two. So I'm on a diet. I'm on a search and rescue diet right now. I've been doing a lot of agricultural flights, making quite good money there, and I've even been diving into the VIP charter service, which makes even better money. It's been quite enjoyable, especially now that I have the smooth butter graphics back. It seems that the stream is holding up extremely well for longer durations of time. Last night, Ace and I wound up taking a cruise around Alaska. I was in the air for over 3 hours, and all of a sudden the stream ended quite abruptly, and I later received a message from YouTube saying that there was a third-party content violation, which I have an issue with because the music that I use for this channel is provided by a subscription service that I pay for. And there was nothing else going on in that stream that was outrageous. I wasn't even on the mic. I was literally just communicating with Ace via chat. I'm not sure what happened there. And so, of course, you know, you can contest those sorts of things on your YouTube channels, and I did, and they came back in, they are vehemently saying that I violated a third party, blah, blah, yada, yada, blah, blah. Okay. Either way, we're going to give this another whirl tonight, this afternoon. We'll see how long we can stay in the air. I am on Central Standard Time, just outside of Chicago. It's just about 12:36 in the afternoon. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, both here in Chi-Town and over the back country of Finland. Feel free to join in at any point. We are flying around Finland. The sun should be coming up pretty soon. Now, doing these backcountry flights every once in a while has actually afforded me the opportunity to see quite a bit of wildlife. I did actually wind up coming across a moose or two that were hanging around one of these airports out in the middle of nowhere. One without antlers and the other one with a really good size rack. Absolutely phenomenal. Even though there are quite a bit of issues with the career mode, and, you know, there's things being worked out. I'm not mad. It's good. I'm in for it. Loving every minute of it. I think it might be interesting to turn some weather on here eventually. I do have the wind at around 8 knots, but I kind of want to experience a little bit of snow maybe a little bit later on. We'll see what happens. We've got a nice ground cover of the snow, but I've yet to see the actual snowfall in this version of the sim. Very curious to see what that looks like. But I think I want to wait till it gets a little bit lighter outside. Feel free to bring any aircraft that you want. Take a cruise around the beaches, the islands, and the backcountry of Finland. Bring the aircraft of choice. We are on the USA West server. All of our multiplayer options are set to show traffic visible within a reasonable distance. Players are all are welcome. Finland it is. This is an area that I've never been into as well. Trying out some new things. I've heard a couple of suggestions by individuals that say going into these areas in free flights has actually sparked some more search and rescue missions for them, so I'll take a chance. So far it hasn't been any help, but who knows? I'm all about surprises. We've definitely seen a few. The roof of that building is glow in the dark. Got some reflective tape on that roof. I've noticed some of the pilots also wearing a material very similar to what's going on with these houses. It's almost like it is an illumination map. Something seems to be wrong with the UVs on a few of the materials here and there. Should be coming across another pretty good sized lake here pretty soon. And I just keep an eye out for those moose, maybe a few bears, who knows what's going on up here. But these glow in the dark houses are pretty awesome. Those lights are shining bright like a diamond. Okay, here we go with the music references again. Too soon? Really do enjoy the agricultural flights. Getting to fly that close to the ground and maintain accuracy is quite challenging. Just like, you know, rescuing with a hoist or anything like that, that accuracy with your controls is pretty important. So spending more time on the stick is not a bad thing. And we should be seeing sunrise here pretty soon. I truly would love to live on an island like that. As long as I knew that that water wasn't going to do much much flooding, or at least be prepared to float. Nice area of cliffs right here. Maybe it is just a little bit too early for the wildlife to be roaming around. We are just before sunrise out in Finland. I have seen one bear, but it was actually mixed into a herd of water buffalo, which I thought was pretty unique. I think maybe later on we're going to get to our destination and probably head off to somewhere a little bit more on the warm side of things and maybe visit something tropical. I've shown everyone the island of Reunion, which I think is one of the most spectacular places in the simulator, if not just on the planet. I would love to be able to visit that place. I would rather take a MD-500E to a location like that, though, and pull a little bit of a Hawaii 5.0. It does sound like a good free fly option there as well. I love all the islands. Yep. Finland. I love what you're doing. Still no moose. Only seen one so far. Took a picture of that moose, and actually it did count in the photographer's mode. Went to just go check on that, so that part of the sim is working. First photograph that actually counted toward anything. A lot of water buffalo sometimes in areas where you wouldn't expect them, like on the runways of airports and places where they probably shouldn't be chilling out, but I like it. Helps the immersion. That house looks like it's got a rave going on inside. Love it. Taking a cruise around Finland, back country. We departed from Echo Foxtrot Lima Alpha. And we are just exploring a new spot while the sun comes up, hoping we're going to come across a few more animals in the process. Get some more stick time with our H-125 SAS free helicopter. Its search and rescue squad is the same 2 missions on repeat. So in between the agricultural flights and some VIP charters, I'd like to come in and just cruise around a little bit. See what we can do, and then of course you're all invited to join along with me. Bring any kind of aircraft you want. Come along for the ride. Enjoy what works with 2024 Flight Simulator for a little reprieve. I think it's getting light enough outside where we could turn on some snow. Let's see what happens here. Let's go from scattered clouds to a little bit of snow. Wind definitely kicked up quite a bit right there. I do think it needs a little bit more light. Maybe just a little bit too early in the day for that. I really do not like the way it stutters when you go in and out of the weather. There we go. Maybe something a little bit like that. It almost looks a little apocalyptic. Squeeze play. Still very curious why last night's stream was cut short by YouTube. I do pay for my music with a subscription service, so Obladi, Obladi, here we go. Let's see what happens today. Chilling around Finland. Again, we departed from Echo Foxtrot Lima Alpha in Finland. Just going for a little flight through the snow. Maybe looking for some moose or some bear. Hoping you're there. Wow, now I'm a poet too. Jesus. What is happening? What do we got out here? Oh, these little houses tucked out here. Pretty good amount of snow coming down. Do I even have some pitot heat on? Yes, I do. Got another good-sized lake coming up here in just a little bit. Let's see if anything's roaming around on the shores again. Feel free to join on in. I'm on the West USA server in Finland. Echo Foxtrot Lima Alpha is where we took off. Our final destination today is going to be Echo Foxtrot Kilo Umbrella. Umbra. Uniform. Whatever you like. I think everything might be hibernating in this kind of weather. It is breezy. Visibility, oh, a little clearing right there. Visibility is keeping us at a rather low altitude, but I don't mind it. It makes for some very interesting flight characteristics. Scenics. Oh, needles to thread. We likey. Seems to be quite a bit of a sheen on the earth right now too, unless I'm actually over like frozen water, which could very well be the case. I'm not necessarily paying so much attention to my EFB at this point. Looking good. The biomes are looking good. That's interesting flying. And the animals? Peekaboo. Where they at? CH-125 actually isn't all that bad. Once you get used to leaving your hands on it all the time, it really does just kind of come second nature to just put really small inputs into those controls once your sensitivities are set up right. Using those curves. A little bit of dead space, dead zone. Either at the beginning or the end, it's all up to how you prefer your individual controllers, but those sensitivities are extremely helpful. Let's do some skiing on the water, which I think at this point shouldn't be water anymore. With this kind of weather condition, we just might be seeing a bunch of ice right here. It's alright though. It's okay. Eventually there's going to be no more water and we're just going to run into a line of trees here eventually. Whoa. Literally skiing. I love it. We should get our flight mech out there. What war movie was that where they were pulling the skiers with the Hueys? I can't remember the name of that movie. There's another thing for a third party to consider doing. Helicopter water skiing. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and find our way through right there. I like the snow, but at the same time, it's just so gray. Let's see what else we can deal with. Let's take it from snow to like a light thunderstorm. We'll try that out instead. Ooh. There's a little difference. Light thunderstorm. Maybe somewhere else, but not around me. Oh, there it is. There's some weather. Ooh, smack. Very cool. A little cloud-to-cloud lightning up there. And the atmospherics, man, what a difference. The density in the clouds, the way the lightning is interacting with the inside and outside of the clouds, and there's different types of illumination happening. The density looks more realistic, and I don't have them on ultra right now either. That's something I should put out there as a disclaimer. I'd even be able to see some animals now that the lights are on. They're just a wilderness. never get old. And if you don't know by now, I'm not running a gigantic graphics card, but the computer specs are sort of helping out in the background. I'm on a Ryzen Threadripper 2950X with 128 gigabytes of RAM, but I'm only pushing a 2080 Ti graphics card. That is an RTX card that seems to be doing quite well now that I've got the DLSS optimized. I'm digging it. Taking a break from career mode is A-OK in my book. Maybe that little tents down here? Oh, it's the side of a barn. Hilarious. Look like a tent. Woo. Kissing the trees. Hello, love. Hello, governor. Got a little bit of the sun coming across the tops of some trees, or is that just anti-aliasing? I think there might be some anti-aliasing issues. Ooh, look at the tops of these clouds painted in a little bit of sun. That wasn't happening in 2020, that's for sure. Nope. Just need a fishing pole. Maybe a little barbecue. And some warmer weather. I don't know, I think my pilot's dressed up well enough to be able to spend a little while outside out here having some lunch. That is some dynamic looking weather right there. Oh, the color of the water. That's something else that's really great compared to the last version too, is the water's interaction with the sun and atmospherics is so much different. The absorption rate of the sun and how much it's penetrating the surface is actually being represented much more accurately. They have done some wonderful things. Yep. That's pretty cool. I did wind up buying a couple of different companies too, so I've kind of got those just waiting in the wings. I haven't purchased any aircraft for them yet, but I'm going to have a couple of those running in the background once things get a little further off the ground. Making pretty decent money while we wait. But as far as I know, once you get multiple companies set up, you can actually use AI to fly missions for you while not in sim. Hopefully there's no premium insurance issues along that path, but I think the key to that is just going to be volume. And I think I went with cargo and VIP transport. So you can do those cargo missions inside of helicopters or fixed wings. I wish I could use the H-160 to do VIP transports for rotorcraft. Maybe that'll come in the future. That'd be pretty awesome. I see something moving over here. Even the orange color coming off the water. Okay. Okay. I see you, Microsoft. I see you. Jonathan, I am on the West USA server right now. Thanks for joining in. Hope to see you soon. We did depart from Echo Foxtrot Lima Alpha. EFLA. I'm in Finland. Aircraft of your choice. Should be a gigantic, long body of water over here to our left. And that's going to lead up to a bridge. Do like trying to fly under the bridges once we're dialed in with those graphics settings so they're not looking like walls. That lightning in the distance there looked a little weird, kind of. Okay. What an amazing, amazing difference. I always see the free fly-ins and, come join me now flying here and there and everywhere around the world in fixed wings, but this isn't something I see too often, so hopefully I'm providing something here that, will catch on a little bit. And we can have a little bit of fun together instead of worrying about career mode so much. Keep that in the background every once in a while. Wrong with this? I have high hopes, man. This is fabulous. Loving every minute of it. Snow-capped trees with the windmills cooking in the back. A thunderstorm off in the distance. All we need now is a moose. The one with the antlers that I saw at the rack when that thing was huge. It actually looked like its head kind of lumbered under the weight, too. It was pretty remarkable. did leave the fauna set to ultra. I could do this all day. Frankly, sometimes I do. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Feel free to hop in sim. I'm currently hanging out in Finland. Aircraft of your choice. We departed from Echo Foxtrot Lima Alpha, headed towards a thunderstorm. I'm on a little bit of a westerly heading right now, going towards a very large body of water. So Jonathan, I am in Finland. I took off from Echo Foxtrot Lima Alpha, and I am just north of that airport, probably around 15 nautical miles or so. Maybe a little bit further than that, but there is a point of interest on the map that is a bridge, and that is my current destination. Sweet. Come on in. Where's the moose walking down the beach? He's got to be here somewhere. Squirrel. The motion blur on these is a little bizarre at this distance. The dynamic colors off of the water's surface, man. That's doing it for me. Look at the contrast in this image. The little white spots on top of the trees hurts it a little bit, but cutting hairs. Splitting hairs with a dull razor blade. I mean, even off the top of the helicopter, you've got the colors are actually reactive to your environment. You can see that shifting from orange back into the gray as we get further under the clouds. That's pretty incredible. No matter what, yeah, I've spoken pretty negatively about the career mode and the team. But they did put in an immense amount of work into the planet and the digital twin itself. And the rest of it is just still in the works. But that's all right. I'm in the right seat. H-125, chilling like a villain. This is fantastic. It's getting a little bit dark outside. Wonder when the lightning and rain is going to hit us. I know we had rainbows in the last version. I know I have yet to see them, but I think now might be a pretty good time. That is incredible. You can see the different densities of rainfall. How do you go wrong with this? Ooh, okay. Maybe we might want to start to think about getting out of the clouds a little bit. I think this is actually the edge of our waterway. It's looking like either that or we're real close to it. Jonathan should be catching up to us pretty soon. I'm not seeing him in sim just yet. But when you do have multiplayer traffic on, you'll actually see the other aircraft in your EFB. So you can get an idea of where people are in close proximity. Just look at that little orange cloud peeking through. Oh yeah. Saw quite a few ships in the water last night, too, when we were out in Alaska. Me and Ace were chilling out there for quite a while. A lot of those models do repeat. Saw some pretty unique models on top of it, though. Very detailed. Helipads on top that you can't land on, but they are there. The helicopter just sinks right through the pad. Very absorbent. But it depends, you know, it depends on the model. That was like some dry bar humor right there. Now we're getting, looks like some open field. Maybe we'll see you can't find me, huh? Are you using the settings in there as multiplayer? I have AI traffic, all that good stuff. I'm actually in between airports at this point. There is a bridge that is a point of interest quite a ways north of EFLA, which is where I'm headed, and I am maybe 3/4 of the way between the airport and that bridge coming up that waterway. And it just opens right back up. Look at this. Jonathan, I'm going to actually try to find a spot here to set her down for a bit, and I'll go in and double check my settings to make sure that I'm in the right spot. Make sure that I'm not the one causing your issue. Sometimes, though, if you do exit the flight and come back in, all of a sudden those people will appear. I can make sure I got the gamer tags on, name tags are visible. I'll check out those online settings in there as well. The undulation of the water. Yep. Me likey. I think there's a little beach right here that should be sufficient. I wonder if the bushcrafters would be able to fit something like a bush plane down on this little spot. Looks like we got some iron in the ground here. Oh, a bear comes charging out of the woods. Alright, let's see what we got here. We'll go up into my settings menus real quick. We'll check what's online. West USA, multiplayer is checked. I'm going to disable the voice chat. That seems to be causing issues sometimes. Convert incoming, translate others. Everything else looks good there. We'll go into, let's see, live weather we got off. Air traffic and career, type off. Real time online. Let's go with that instead, see if that triggers anything for you there. Let's see if we got the assistance. Where would that be? Where was that? Yeah, I've got those controls on assists. I don't play. I'm here to enjoy myself. Oh, I think it's in a different menu. That's right. It's in flight interface. Show traffic nameplates. Save and back. I'll resume. Everything looks pretty well set up though. I can show you on the EFB where I'm at as well. I'll pull that back on the screen real quick. Expand this quite a bit. So if this is Finland, we've got our flight path on there and just about where we are along our way. Here's that bridge. We are parked on an island in between. I do like to keep this just off the screen here on another monitor. Helps out quite a bit along the way. Look at the color. Again, I got my graphic settings turned down a little bit to just optimize the stream. But I still am not mad about it at all. Those colors continue underneath the surface of the water for a little bit before that drops off. It's nothing short of amazing. Well, I'm going to continue north up the waterway here. Jonathan, hopefully you can find me. And of course, anybody else that wants to join in, come on down. This is a bring your own airplane event though. We don't have a lot to give out today. Our charity's a little bit behind. Let's see what we got going on up here. I am Sarheli 241. Sarheli 241. What's yours, Jonathan? I can actually add you in as a friend up here. Got Ace Driver on. He's offline right now. Let me know what your name is online. I'll add you in. Woo! Nose up. It's not necessarily a group flight either. Open invitation. Anybody on the planet can join in. Little green spot on the end of that island. Interesting. We might have to go investigate what that is. Still not seeing you on the EFB either. Just his yard. He's got a little beach in front of his house. Yep. Gotta wonder what he's flying in and out of there. You know he's got something. The MD 500E would be super fun to whip around in a spot like this. See if we got any moose in the field. They are sparse, that is for sure. Not a bear, not a squirrel. Wow, a lot of little bushes generating as we fly over. I'd love to be able to strap a canoe to the side of a helicopter and go to a spot like this. Grab a little fishing pole. Seeing that rainbow yet? I doubt it. Too far away from that rain. Not enough coming through the clouds. I love the little rays of light coming in pretty deep in that storm, though. The lightning does look a little weird every once in a while, but again, I'm thinking my graphics settings are going to have quite a bit to do with that. There's our bridge. So, Jonathan, if you can spawn in around this bridge, we should see each other pretty quickly. Oh, your multiplayer is broken. Ouch. Yeah, you know, unfortunately, the option to reinstall the simulator was one of the things that actually helped out my experience with it the most, besides the DLSS hack that Mr. Bossman, Air Bossman, gave us a really good method to increasing frame rates and just the overall stability of the software. And as soon as I did those two things, it was like, all right, well, Microsoft just put out a Windows update, so we went ahead and did that. And there was also a graphics driver from NVIDIA that came out at the same time, so while I was reinstalling the simulator, I was actually updating almost everything involved in processing the simulator's information. And ever since then, we've been doing real good. It's a little tedious and time consuming, disappointing, but it's worth it at the end. We'll see if we can make it under. You do get a little skippity doo-dah when you go under it, but not bad. Not bad. See if there's any old crash physics on them or if they're accurate. I'm going to get a little crazy on this one. I'm going to see if I can't put my skids down on these railings that are around these stanchions. What would these be called? I might even be able to park myself in between if I'm super careful, but the ground effect over this is pretty ground effect. I'm gonna drop off I'm touched down on it. I am skid down, but not quite on it. All right, close. High-speed pass underneath it. Gotten pretty comfortable flying these from outside. It certainly does make for a much better cinematics than staring at the glass cockpit all night. Jonathan, when you get that multiplayer fixed and you do that reinstall, I'll be doing this again. Like I said, my career mode is basically stuck in just kind of making money on the side right now, because the only missions I'm getting for search and rescue are at this point are duplicating every day, and there's only 2 available. One in Canada, one in Australia. Posted videos about both of them, and yeah, this morning I was actually able to accomplish both of those missions in probably around 30 minutes, and both of those grades were 100% for all 3 grading statistics. It's getting a little bit ridiculously easy to tow myself into those cliffs and drop into that gully, do the tow-in rescue for the woman or man that's down in Australia. And then once those 2 missions are completed, I gotta wait about 24 hours before they regenerate and I get to do them again. Cool lightning. Cloud to cloud. Not a single boat. Just pure wilderness. Jonathan, what's your gamer tag? I'll add you in as a friend up there, and we can get together on this later on. It is very surprising that there's not a single watercraft anywhere. I'm not getting those caching issues like I had out in the Chicago region, because these are just trees. Houses every once in a blue moon, and the weather in the back is apparently not as taxing on the system as high density cities are. The sun coming off of something back there. Ooh, caught a little bit of a breeze coming down there. I think I might just be out of gas. I think I might be doing an auto rotation right now. Not a good auto rotation, that's for sure. But we are coming down full throttle. Yeah, that's an auto rotation. She's definitely coming to a stop. Maybe we should put some gas in there. Of course, having that refuel and repair button out here in the middle of nowhere is quite helpful. Good thing I was flying at a decent enough altitude to be able to pull that off without tanking it. One of the worst auto rotations I think I've ever done, though. I wonder if they got my rotor brake on again. There, every once in a while, this thing will just engage. It is pulled out a little bit, I think. Nope, that's good. We're in a flight condition. We'll put our collision lights on. Let's get another crank in there. Crank it up. This is very interesting what's going on here. There we go. All our gauges look good except for... Let's see if that airspeed indicator needle starts moving. There we go. All right. Maybe a little damage to the skids, but we're back in the air. Everything looks intact. One unscheduled auto rotation coming right up. Wonder if we can get on top of those. Still not a moose anywhere. Not a bear, squirrel, rabbit, mountain lion, goat, sheep, cow, nothing. I wonder if that is seasonal, though. I'm sure it is. I mean, if they're tracking all of the migratory patterns. Either that or maybe this place just doesn't have any animals, which I doubt. Oh, yeah, we're coming up on those clouds. We should be able to get over. Can't hit it. I mean, the way the clouds are catching the sun based on altitude and perspective. That one just kind of dipped into a little bit of a dimmer state right there. That was not a very smooth transition as I'm complimenting the clouds. Hanging up in the clouds over Finland. Not a bad way to spend an afternoon. Flying near the tornadoes was also a really interesting experience. Once you get super close to the funnel, the sound of the wind starts to change dramatically, and you can tell that you're in a little condition. A little village down below here. Just a bunch of rectangles from this height. Got any moose? Where's Rocky? Where would you go shopping in a spot like this? Oh, look at the blue out in the background. What a dynamic environment. That cache is coming in real late with these ground coverings. Your Uber is here. See how far we can follow the yellow brick road here. It's not a very wide road, that's for sure. Just a little neighborhood, huh? I think Target's this way. Or is it this way? That's literally just a cul-de-sac around this neighborhood. I mean, for real though. You got to live a completely different lifestyle in a spot like this. Does anybody out there live in a remote location like this? How fantastic is it? Man, these atmospherics though, the dynamic range that they've got going. I mean, everything that is going wrong with career mode, they're making up for in other places, honestly. There truly is there is no comparison between 2020 and 24 when it comes to the globe and the environment. Nope. Not even close. Look at the dynamic range between the water. Again, that absorption rate of the light in different depths. Different ranges of lightness or darkness. All the way up to the shore. Some white caps going on. Like this guy. Can I have your house, please? That's where I want to live. Right there. That's got to be just an amazing view all day. Yep. Love it. The flight we did out in Alaska last night, even a little bit more dynamic than this with the northern lights going on, especially with all of the rocky terrain and snow-capped mountains around there. That is an incredibly beautiful place to fly. Not an animal anywhere. Antiques Roadshow. Might be giving some of these pines a little bit of a haircut. Doesn't look like it though. Certainly close. Crew cut. Crew. Sorry. Search and rescue route. Yeah, never mind. Normally there's a deer, moose walking across the road when I'm driving out in the wilderness. I don't know about you, so why not try to find one on a road? Look at the color of this water. What? Yep. Yeah, you guys seen Rocky and Bullwinkle out here anywhere? Trying to find some moose and stuff. You have yet to see wildlife, but usually just doing career. See, I've run into them in both versions, free flight and career mode, and I've actually seen quite the variety. Water buffalo, deer, cattle, moose, mountain lions. We ran into some I think they were mountain lions, or mountain goats is what they were, on the island of Reunion. I believe it's in like the West Indian Ocean over there by Madagascar. Literally hopping up and down the side of the mountains. It was pretty cool. And I found that having that fauna on the ultra setting is the best way to go about it if you're truly looking for them. I'll generate a little bit further out. And then once you get closer to them, the fidelity on them is great. The movements are pretty smooth. Seen quite a few horses too. Horses parked on runways. I was even in a free flight with Brett Plays not too long ago, and we had stopped at an airport to the west of LOWK Klagenfurt. That one, LOWK. And we saw some cows in that free flight too. My pleasure. Happy to help, Carshon. That's what we're here for. My career mode is basically on pause right now, outside of just making money. I'm only getting 2 search and rescue missions daily, and they are repeating. The only thing different about the missions is the people you're rescuing. I've quite literally perfected those hoists, though, or those search and rescues, not hoists. Tow-in landings, landing on the cliffside, getting out and walking to your survivor. Because you got to do 2 a day to keep the doctor away, apparently. Quite a few VIP transport missions coming in handy, too. Those are good paying gigs, especially when you're using this sim rate increase and sim rate decrease option to give yourself a little bit of a time machine. So when you're going for those long haul missions, you can fast forward your way through it while you're on autopilot. Super efficient way to get those missions done and that money flowing pretty quickly. Looking forward to doing that in an airline too, because those missions will earn 6 figures if your airline is VIP jet rated. So if you're flying something like the Vision Jet, which is obviously going to be a very expensive airframe. So I am just in the process right now of throwing money in the bank. That's about it. And then you get a little tired of going around the fields doing agricultural sprays and cargo missions and transports, and you come out into the world and share some info on a nice little spot on the planet in the meantime. A little blue house tucked in there. Still haven't seen an animal though. Oh, we even saw some kangaroos out in Australia too. That was pretty cool. Dig the kangaroos. Let's see if we can play with the weather just a bit. Not that menu. This menu. Do. Let's take these clouds right there on the lower level. Bring those up a skosh. Let's bring these up. Let's bring these. Ooh. See? That makes a world of difference. Now we're getting some funky edges on them, though. If we got that, literally, that's the whole environment. Wow, that could be happening without you knowing it. Alright, so we get the lightning but not the clouds. Alright. If I could only be playing some AC/DC right now, we would all be thunderstruck. I'm gonna add some forks on it. Maybe some Flight of the Valkyrie. I think we should save something like that for like the mock loop. I also have all of the road traffic turned off, if you haven't noticed by now, just again to kind of save that from streaming. I don't need all that information. I know what a car looks like driving down the road. Sure, it kind of takes away from the immersion, but honestly, how many roads are going to be full of cars where I'm currently at? It's probably not a lot of heavy traffic going on around rush hour out here. Well, this almost looks like some kind of homestead farm. You got any animals out here? You didn't bring your pigs with you, did you? It does look like we have something. Are those just hay bales? What do we got here? They don't look to be moving. Maybe just rocks and stuff. Usually I see that fauna come in quite a bit earlier. But that grass and ground cover sure does take a minute to get there. Your bubble literally has to be within just a few feet. Let's see what we got. Let's set her down here. Your pizza's here. You ordered. Don't forget to tip your pilot. Let's double check these graphic settings here. So if we go into that global rendering quality, we got that off-screen terrain at ultra, and it's coming in that late. Interesting. Yeah, plants, rocks, high, grass, high, object details still at 100, volumetric clouds are high, texture resolutions are high, and again, that's all just saving me so much on the smoothness of the stream. When I'm not streaming, I can push everything here up to ultra. Let's turn the motion blur on for a second, but let's turn it on medium. See if that makes a little bit of a difference. And we got our fauna on ultra. Let's do some sea traffic on ultra as well. Maybe we can throw some boats in the mix if we scare it. And again, this is all happening on a 2080 Ti graphics card. Ryzen Threadripper 2950X. I think the biggest contributor here is my RAM at 128 gigs. And a 32 thread chipset. Doesn't hurt either. Looks like we're coming up on another airport if you want to join in. I am not that far away from Echo Foxtrot Papa Kilo. Just a little bit looks like we are to the west of that airport right now. In Finland. Let's go say hi. Wind farm out there, still hitting us with the lightning. I am in the middle of nowhere. I'm liking it. A little bit weird around the shorelines of that water. But again, that could also just indicate a little bit more of a shallow water and, again, a different absorption rate of the light. should be. Not too far over yonder. Maybe just a little too high up to see any of the fauna. We'll come down just a bit. Looking for Rocky and Bullwinkle. I heard they're on tour. Ooh, power lines. Yeah, I'm with ComEd. I'm here to do some inspections. Those models are coming in pretty late. They start to generate see-through. And then right about there, you start to see the actual structure. Now the next one's starting to come in as a ghost, and then bang, it's there. And with that pre-caching on Ultra, that's a little bit perplexing. Now, because those other settings aren't necessarily Ultra on top of it. I guess that kind of explains it. Anybody got horses out here? Anybody at all? I think maybe what we should do is maybe turn the weather back to something summertime and see if we come across anything different. Let's come back in here. Let's go from December. Something a little Marchy, April, something like yacht. Yeah, sure. Ooh, stutter, stutter, stutter is that picks up that weather information again. Doesn't take long to smooth back out, though. A lot of that texture looks flat, though. But again, we just saw my settings. I'm not pushing it too far. We do have an airport just around the bend here. Never been to this one before. Echo Foxtrot Papa Kila. Looks like this thing is literally just in the middle of a field. I don't know if that building out there is part of it or not. It is in that general direction. Wonder if they got a gas pump. You didn't bring your fuel can with you, did you? It's actually an airstrip. How about that? I think we should test the limits. We should test the limits of a 2080 Ti. Let's come back into this. Settings. Global rendering. Level of terrain details all the way down to 10. Excuse me, what? When did that happen? I think that was normally at 100 by like default. How did that get down to 10? I didn't notice that last time we were in there. Doesn't make very much of a difference now, does it? You get a little bit of cracking on the runway, but ooh, watching the grass underneath the helicopter, yeah. Let's see if we can zoom in to give you guys a better idea of what's happening underneath. If you come down into this, you can actually see the debris start coming up. The grass bends underneath the weight of the wind. That's just... Still haven't seen the dynamic particle systems for smoke yet, though. Those search and rescue smoke pops are... Oh, there is gas. I don't need it. Moving on. All right, that was Echo Foxtrot Papa Kilo. We're starting to definitely see the fields coming out with like hay bales and stuff like that, so those are also being changed with the weather. We just got a pile of rocks in the middle of our field. We don't plow there. Another cool little spot. Little hunting cabin out in the middle of nowhere. There's the power line. Yeah. What's also cool is when you go near mines or any kind of quarry, those are modeled into the negative space of the earth too. Looks like we got a little bit of a concrete factory or something like that. Construction site. Let's see here. I'm curious just how much further it is to our final destination. Oh, we're about a third of the way there. 2/3 of the way through the mission. Coming up on Echo Foxtrot 8 Hotel Tango. That's our next little spot. Not a boat anywhere. What kind of tower is this? Still with the lightning in the back. Looks like a cell tower. Maybe this is where everybody goes shopping that lives 80 nautical miles away from the nearest IKEA. Never been to this spot either, but I'm coming up on it pretty quick. It is a shoreline landing spot. There we go. I can see the pad. Very cool. Not necessarily a modeled helipad. Or maybe this one's just in the dirt with some trees very close to it. Interesting spot for a barn. There's got to be a deer on the road somewhere, right? That'd be another great model, is to actually have one specific deer in headlights model where it just sits there and stares at you with like some glowing eyes or something. I think we need one of those. Let's talk to the zoo team. And I think we need that. Ooh, yeah. Brought that cursor off that window for just a little too long. Still looking pretty flat. We got some hay bales down there, though. Little horseshoe lake. Looks like a hotel, because this is definitely somewhere we're going to have a lot of people traveling to for vacation. To quite literally get away from it all. This place is remote. This place is devoid of most life. I think the animal population here is just all about location, location, location. I mean, I could totally see lots of herds of deer running around in here. That's also something I haven't seen any of. I'm not sure if that was actually one of the models. Nothing on the beach. Nothing going for water. Pretty sure this would be salt water, though. No, these are inland. Another great little spot for a house. Come on. Sure. I'm in. See, that bubble's much further out in front of us now. Yo, diggity. I'm actually getting a little bit of attached to my 125. I gotta say, she handles pretty good once you get used to it. It does take some tweaking of those sensitivities, but this thing can fly. Yes, I've been hand flying this for I don't know how long at this point. There is no trim in this aircraft. No SAS system installed. Wrong variant. Still not an animal anywhere. Don't you people eat meat? Okay, we're in vegan country, aren't we? See, from this height, normally I'd be able to see the animals down on the ground. And this entire time, there has just been nothing. I wonder if it's because I went into the photographer mode earlier today to see if that picture of the moose was there. And it turns out the picture I thought it was, the one it saved is not the one I wanted. know if there's a way to overwrite the images once you shoot them or not, but once they're in there, it seemed like it just grabbed the last one that you shot and kept that one. Let's see what our frame rates are doing. I'm curious. Oh, the frame rate option is at 2930. 99% of the GPU, 25% of the CPU with no latency at all. I'm okay with that. Films are filmed in 24 frames per second. I'm cooking at 30, and I'm on a 2080 Ti. I do not like to keep that frame rate assistant on for long because that does tend to tax the system a lot more than I want it to be. Every once in a while I'll pop in there and get an idea though. We should also get some speedboats. I think that would be pretty awesome. Speedboat races. I mean, if we're going to do Dune, even though that is the world of flight, I've seen those speedboats take flight before. You would think a moose would be walking around out here somewhere. A deer. A doe. A female deer. Back to the music references. Devoid of life, only trees. Red Rock Beach right there. That's another spot I have not visited on the planet is Red Rocks in Colorado. Well, there's quite a few places I haven't been to yet in 2024. This is someplace I had actually never been at all. Trying something brand new today. And I'm not mad about it. Got to see quite a few different weather biomes. I think that lightning is probably still chasing us. And we're just enjoying some Finland. No boats, no nothing. Not a bear. Some really great locations with homes, though. Yeah, that's the vacation cabin we've all been waiting for. Well, we started out the mission at sunrise, and we got a pretty good amount of daylight going on right now. Maybe the ground's just warming up and all the animals still haven't come to life for the day. They haven't had their Wheaties yet. gotta wonder if these are actually houses that people live in, or if this is something more like a hunting cabin that just winds up. I don't know. That would be a pretty bizarre. There's 2 houses. Yeah, I don't know. Talk about being disconnected from people. Quite breezy up here today. See that wind and those waves. Kind of wonder if Jonathan's out there uninstalling his flight sim right now and trying to get back in. The duration of this flight time, he might be able to make it back in before I get to my final destination at this rate. Here, piggy, piggy, piggy. There's like nothing. Hay bales. That's about it. I wonder if this part of the planet just hasn't been touched by that part of the sim yet. That could also be part of the issue. But you would think animal diversity shouldn't be something like proprietary information when it comes to landscape like this. I could see, you know, infrastructure buildings, things like that. But animal life? Again with the watercolor. Super impressive stuff, man. With the lightning coming out of the clouds. Not a raindrop in the sky. The clouds are a little bit dense, but I don't know about that. Let's go ahead and find another weather system we can play around in. That was a light thunderstorm. We've done some snow. Let's go with some live weather, huh? Let's see what's really happening out here. Absolutely nothing. Clear skies. Sometimes it does take a little while for this to jump start, though. How could that be live when the day isn't even right? Wow, look at how much darker it is. Daylight savings time, anybody? do like it with a little bit of clouds in there just for that dynamic range of it all. Cloud cover's helpful. Well, it's just high level clouds in there. Let's start to get that dynamic range with those clouds at different altitudes again. I want some clear skies. Let's go with some broken clouds. Let's play with these a little bit. Let's put these up a little bit. Grab these and bring those up a little bit. Shrink that layer down. Let's take this one way up high. And let's reduce the scatter on that. Let's come back into this system. Increase the scatter on that one and reduce the coverage. I love how you can play with that atmosphere. The stuttering in and out of the menu is a little bit weird, but okay. Where are the boats? Where are the animals in this spot? Finland, what have you done with all of your animals? You'd think there would be at least a couple of fishing boats out here. I did turn that up to ultra too, and it's just, I don't know, maybe there just aren't any boats out here. I mean, there's not a lot of people up, but how else do you get anywhere? Float plane only? Helicopter? Stork? I mean, really though. There's got to be boats in the water. It'd be also fun if they included some smaller personal watercraft in that as well. If they had like the kayakers in the water, or some people throwing in some canoes, you know, maybe a little small outboarder, John boat, something like that. Ideas for the dev team. I don't know. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool. It would definitely help out with more immersion in a spot like this. You know, there would be somebody in the water somewhere. Maybe even see the guy on the shoreline in Alaska doing some salmon fly fishing or something like that when you fly over. But you know a guy that lives in that house has a boat. And the need to be alone, because this place is remote. Here's his neighbor. Howdy, neighbor. Looks like we have a few things popping up on the radar here out in the distance. We've got Echo Foxtrot Golf 8-5. And then Echo Foxtrot Papa Juliet coming in here pretty soon. I think once we do get to our destination, we are going to go off into something a little bit more tropical. Might even go back over to my favorite spot, Reunion Island, The ICAO code of that one is Foxtrot Mike Echo Echo. That airport is Gilbert. And the island of Reunion is in the West Indian Ocean to the east of Madagascar. It is a volcanic island, and it is amazing. They have done some really cool stuff mapping the planet, and that's one of my favorite spots to see just because of the dynamics in the terrain. Huge peaks and valleys, and villages tucked down in the middle. And all of a sudden, we come across some civilization. Look at this. We get that same chapel with the 2 spires on it. That thing is in every city, just about. A couple of them. Yeah. The color of the water, though. The absorption rate that they're doing with that specific surface is so vastly improved from 2020. Can't get enough of that. Oh, what do we got there going on in the distance? This is a spot I've never ventured to before. We do have some boat traffic finally. Look at this. All you had to do is put some people on the planet first. No, that's not even a boat. That's fantastic. That looked like a shipping container from the distance. Turns out it's just a little warehouse. And the fact that I'm getting these smooth graphics on a 2080 Ti will never cease to amaze me. Are they perfect? Am I at full ultra? No, of course not. I mean, I'd be curious to see if anybody has pushed all of those sliders as far as they can go, even like the textures. This looks like a ski run here. Are we like in an Olympic village right now? I don't even know where we are. We're just outside of Echo Foxtrot Hotel at this point in Finland. If y'all know where this is, are we in an Olympic village? This looks like a ski jump. Absolutely, that's what that is. I wonder if we can land on it and go for a ride down the ski lift. I don't know. It looks like it's covered or something. I don't know. I think we might have to play for a little bit here. Oh, this is so tempting. Because we know that the H-145 can definitely... It has the ability to act like a toboggan. But does it have the ability to act like an Olympic skier? I don't know. I think I might have to try this just once. If it crashes, it crashes. It's just going to put me at 2,000 feet. But I might have to go for the Olympic gold right here. Okay. I I think we need to park on top of this thing if we can and just get an idea of how we're going to approach our jump. This is a happy little surprise. Oh, yeah, see? Okay, we couldn't even get close to it. For a second there, I thought the sim crashed. Nope, it was just me. The sunset ski jump. Let's do it. I'm gonna try it. I'm not gonna try to land on it this time. If I do, it should be coming up from way above it, so the skid's impacted first, because that crash model is definitely not accurate at this point. It had me bumping into it way too early. Either way, what I'm gonna try to do is, without even touching down on the ski run, I'm gonna make it look like I am. Let's go for a run. Oh, yeah. See, that crash model is right just maybe 30 feet over the top of it for the whole thing. I'm going back for more, though. The judges want more. Looks like a little hotel action over here. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull off the ski jump. Crash model is wide for this one. See, you get it pretty close with the tower, but once you get close to the ski jump itself, oh, there's the moose. Yep. I knew we'd come across him. Finally. How long did it take to get to a moose? It's cruising through the woods. Man, and the choppers really do spook the animals when you get close to them. I think I might have lost them. There was a whole herd of them, though. Couples with antlers. Couple without. It is very enjoyable to be able to take a break from career mode every once in a while and just fly. I know you're in there. Where'd you go? There were quite a few of them. I'm curious if we touch down in this parking lot right here and go for a little stroll. If we'll run into them in there. Yeah, shut the chopper down and take the noise aspect out of it. Can't see. Oh, yeah. There's the tower. I found it. Almost crashed into it again. That would have been great. Okay. I think I've got one right down there at the bottom of the ski slope. I can't tell if that's an animal or what. There was a whole herd of moose, man. They ran this way, though. We've turned search and rescue missions into search and search and search and search. I'll probably be able to grab a screen grab out of the replay. It looks like those little buggers are gone. Gone. Those things were moving pretty quick, too. You got to wonder just how long they go. Do they disappear? Do they stay in the area? How far away do they go? Man, them suckers are gone. I know moose are fast, but... Let's see what happens if we leave the area and look in another location and then come back. We are super close to our final airport too, so we're just having a little fun hanging out, trying to find Rocky and Bullwinkle out here. Maybe they're in the grocery store parking lot. And even with that marine setting on ultra, I don't see a boat. Haven't seen a boat all day. We finally get to the moose and then they just vanish. Feel free to jump in. We are currently just outside of... what airport would that be? I believe it's Echo Foxtrot Kilo Uniform in Finland. Just a little bit southwest of that airport. Looking for Rocky and Bullwinkle. Gonna head somewhere tropical after this. If you guys have any suggestions on where we want to go, of course, feel free. Chime in, jump in, join along. Looks like sunset's just about upon us here in Finland. The dynamics of our environment here are changing along with that time. And I am loving every minute of it. Alright, let's see if we see our moose again. It's coming a little bit slower. It doesn't look like there's any down there this time. And we're just at the bottom of the ski jump. There, I see something moving. Is that? I'm coming down right here. I can't tell if that thing is moving or not, but it looks to be a moose off in the distance there, and it looks to be a gigantic one. So I am going to shut her down right here, nice and far away from it. Something like this. I'm going to come in and immediately power this thing all the way down. Quickly as I can. Alright, something like that. We're going to get out and we're going to grab our camera and look for Rocky and Bullwinkle in the middle of Finland. And hopefully we won't scare them away. And hopefully he won't run away before we get there. Put a little bit of speed on my pace as well. I'm going to pop my head up over this hill. Try to crouch. We'll even crouch down a little bit. He should be standing right. Oh. I know you're out there. Is there anybody out there? Yeah, great. More music references. This should turn out to be a pretty good... Oh, there he is. There he is. So if we go here, zoom in as much as I can. Right there. No antlers on that one. But usually where there's one, there's more. I do like the autofocus in the center. And using the slider on the left with like the cursor is also really just the quickest way to kind of get in and out of a good focal length. Uh-oh, she's going for a walk. Where's the rest of the herd? You heard? I don't see any more. I wonder if we can walk up the ramp. Let me get our workout in. Who needs Pilates? What is interesting, though, I have the run button mapped, and it doesn't seem like it really goes fast at all. Are we going to be able to climb the mountain, or are we going through it? It doesn't appear... elevation change. Are we going to go in the mountain? It looks like we're... it's still coming up a little bit. We're getting a little faster, too, for some reason. I'm getting our speed up. Look at that calf workout. Oh, yeah. That's great. A couple of rocks right in the middle of the ski jump. That's accurate. Absolutely. 100%. We got a bird's eye view of some moose from this little spot. If they're still down there. There she is. Still just the one, though. Little telescope action. All you need now is like a reticle on the end of it. Well, there was a whole herd. I'd like to get a shot of the one with the antlers, personally. The one with the antlers is a pretty dynamic looking character. Oh, well, is this the same one? I think so. Moved pretty quick. I thought it was over here before. I love it. Stalking animals from a ski lift or from a ski jump. Who'd have thought? Not a bad little spot to chill out for a minute, though. Walking up the ski jump. They were everywhere before. There was probably close to a dozen of them. Too bad you can't sit down and just slide. Oh, there it is. I think I got one with antlers right here. Yes, sir. Snap. We'll put a little bit of the background in there. Take another picture. Oh, yeah. We got a digital camera. I don't worry about it. You know, I got lots of film. We're not back in the day. Taking pictures of our thumb. from the random ski lift that we just happened to cross. I love it. Look at this thing. Oh, ooh, it's floating. That's majestic. Oh, whoa. Hello. Hello. Everything okay down there? Are we back into the tar pits? Or is that like your underground lair? Alright, we got David Copperfield disguised as a moose. That's great. Just gonna stay hidden down there for a minute. Where'd who go? Alright, let's say we, I wish we could sit down and slide down this thing. Let's see if we can get, oh, see, they're coming back. There's two now. But I think both of them are female. The double moose. Not even in photographer's mode. Why not? Just chilling around the planet, having a good time. That is a telephoto lens right there. Come on, pick up the speed. Where's the skis when you need them? On the bottom of the helicopter. I know. Yeah, that's where they are. Well, let's just hop back into that bad boy, get her fired back up. Let's turn some stuff on. Get ready to crank. Turn the rotor brake off. Flip the switch. Little zippity doo-dah. Fuel's low again. What do you know? Alright, needles are coming alive. Almost back in the air. We used to have a weight and balance up here too. I wonder if there's a way to get that back in. I mean, this settings list is pretty limited. It'd be nice to have the weight and balance there so we can put fuel in it through that menu. Maybe I'm missing it. I don't know. Alright, looks like we are in a flight ready condition. Let's go for the final little push. Come on, we'll say goodbye to Bullwinkle and friends. Thanks for the photos, guys. Good times had by all. And here we go again. This is saying that the stream is no longer available. These people are striking my channel again for music that I pay for. YouTube, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you right